Welcome back to Life Changing Wealth. You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay Biondo here. I post videos every day on investing in the stock market, cryptocurrency, real estate, and pretty much anything else related to investments. If you guys like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button below, and turn on that notification bell. So let's jump into it. Today we're going to talk about Rivian, a Tesla competitor that maybe some of you aren't aware of. So Tesla obviously has taken the world by storm and is really the EV at the moment, right? So gets the best range and is just the best overall vehicle that's an EV. So one thing that's super interesting, and you have this car company or this truck company called Rivian that's getting in the mix, and they've been working on their vehicles for a very long time, for years. I think it's almost been a decade even. So it's been a really, really long time. You know, Rivian has gone to many different car shows, but they still have yet to release a production-ready vehicle. Super interesting, right? So it's been a long time. They've been at it for a while. So where are they going to go? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. But before we get into Rivian, I do want to give you guys a brief update on the Tesla price and the Tesla charts. So let's jump there, and then I'm going to talk to you guys about this crazy valuation that Rivian's getting. So let's go to the charts. All right, so here we are looking at Tesla. I just want to give a brief overview as to what's happening on the charts, what I'm seeing, and maybe some things that you guys should be watching out for if you're invested in Tesla. So Tesla's at $1,172. We got all the way up to about 200 or 1,200. And so since then, we've been a little bit range bound. You know, we've seen a little resistance. I had kind of predicted that that we would rock it as soon as we broke the previous all-time high, and that's exactly what happened. So Tesla has skyrocketed at this point, and what made me a little bit nervous was the fact that on the if we switch this over to the daily or possibly even the weekly. So if we look at the daily, and we zoom in over here. The daily RSI is crazy high right now. I looked back in time at this, and I was wondering, and the RSI value, the relative strength, the relative pricing value, is very high. It's the highest I could see it's ever been. It looks like this comes as the next closest, but it's not even quite there. So this is the highest RSI value that Tesla's ever hit. So it wouldn't surprise. I mean, where are we on this? So we're at a 94. That is astronomically high. You know, usually you see these bounce around, between the 20 to 80 range, if not 30 to 70 range. So we're way over the normal price, right? In terms of the speed of growth. So there's that. Then the other thing to look at when it comes to Tesla is the MACD. So the MACD, we're in way overbought territory. Look at how high the MACD is. Even on our previous local top here at the $900 range, the MACD was nowhere near as high. So yeah, this is a little bit concerning. Me as a Tesla investor, I'm wondering if now is a good time to take some profits, because we are very overextended. So something to think about, something to consider. Now let's jump back to Rivian, because I want to just go into let's just talk about Rivian and have fun with it. So when we visit Rivian, for those that aren't aware, just check out how cool these vehicles are. So the ones that they're just starting to release are the R1Ts. And so, I mean, this is a nice, cool truck. It's very futuristic. It's different in that regard. So it's definitely different. And if we just go ahead and go through the configuration options, so you're looking at a starting price at 73 grand or so, 73, 67. And then the big thing out of these, regardless of which initial package you pick, is that it's only 300 miles, 314-mile range to start, and if you, which is okay, it's okay, but it's not great. So if you want that 400+ mile range, you got to drop in another 10 grand. Now, what's interesting about this is that the Tesla Cybertruck, which is unreleased, is supposed to go 400 to 500 miles on a charge. So it already beats the Rivian vehicles before Rivian's even out the door yet. So that's something to consider. But these trucks do look very, very nice. They're super cool vehicles. And so that's just like to give you a frame of reference as to what we're talking about here, and how innovative these vehicles are, and like they're really cool on the inside too. I'm not going to go through all the options, but definitely check it out. It's just interesting to see where the vehicle market is going, right? So you've got Tesla coming out with the crazy wacky Cybertruck. You've got Rivian, which is trying to reinvent today's modern trucks, and then you have you have Ford coming out with the Ford Lightning, okay, which I believe is around $50,000 for perspective at a 300-mile range. So, we'll see how these numbers come into play, but interesting, right? So now let's jump to the big news, which is the Rivian IPO. So, in terms of investing, this is something that I have thought about for quite a while. Is once Rivian IPOs to jump in quick. Because I think they will do well. And so a couple other things to note, though, about... So they just filed with the SEC November 1st, and so they're getting ready to IPO. And they have a valuation here of $60 billion, okay? That puts it almost at the valuation. See here, slightly less valuable than GM and Ford, okay? And they haven't even sold vehicles. Okay, so think about when you look at like the price to earnings ratio of Tesla, it doesn't really make sense. Tesla's way overvalued when you compare it to revenues and profits. And the same is looking true for Rivian, right? Because they're coming in with a massive valuation. So if I was looking at the IPO on this, I'd be very cautious about coming in at such a high valuation, because I would think I'm going to get screwed and that the valuation would drop down, which is what happened with Coinbase, right? And which is why I held off on Coinbase, because I thought the valuation was too high. The same is true here. I really question it. Now, with that said, Jeff Bezos came in with a big investment for Rivian and has purchased 100,000 vans for the Amazon shipping fleet, right, that are electric vehicles. So they do have purchase orders lined up, very large purchase orders. So it's going to be interesting to see where this goes and how it compares to Tesla, and how these overvalued companies are going to hold up over the long term. But let's just try to get some more perspective, right? So when we look at the Tesla vehicle sales quarterly, they just keep going up. They just keep going up, keep going up. They just keep killing it on the amount of deliveries that they're doing in terms of vehicles. The volume just keeps going up every quarter. So that just kind of gives you a trend as to where the market is, and that they're having no problems selling these vehicles. So the same might be true for Rivian. Maybe Rivian is going to start off and then just get ramped up like this, in which case maybe it's not so overvalued, right? So then when we look at luxury car sales by the top brands, okay, Tesla, and this is 2019 Q2, so it's a little dated, but Tesla outperforming BMW, Mercedes, Audi, Lexus as a luxury vehicle. I mean, this is crazy. This and what this really relates to, let me just give you guys an example. Let me look it up real quick. Is Foster's S-curve. Okay, so let's see here. Let's see if I can give you a good example. So right here, this is a good example. So I want to mention Foster's S-curve because this isn't something that a lot of people think about. But But essentially what happens is over time, whole industries get disrupted and change dramatically. So one of them being, obviously, this is a good example. We've got music, cassettes to CDs, CDs to now cloud music and Spotify, right? So we're kind of going from horse and buggy to cars, to gasoline cars, and now we're going to EVs, okay? And so we're jumping curves. And companies that don't jump curves and cannot evolve die. A good example of this is what happened with Kodak Film, right? That company was huge at one point in like the 1980s, huge with all their selling of film. But then once everything went digital, they had no way to make money anymore. So pretty much is now way down compared to what they used to be. So that's really what I wanted to address today. Tell you guys a little bit about Rivian, what's going on, where I see it going, and just the interesting news on the business, and also some updates on Tesla. So if you guys like the content, make sure you give this a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button below, and I look forward to seeing you in all of my other videos. See you guys in the next one.